Hey everyone, welcome back to Kickin It With Kelly. I'm your host, Kelly Lang. I wanted to tell you where we've come from so you can see where we're going. We have done the moisturizers, the depuffing, the concealer, the contouring tapes. Now I want to talk to you about foundation. What's right for you? There's so many thousands to pick from. And believe it or not, I keep going back to the one that I originally started with, but I will tell you about a few of my favorites in the meantime, okay? So there's, a big thing about contouring and making sure you don't have too much makeup on and blah, blah, blah. It depends on your preference. Do you want fuller coverage? Do you want lighter coverage? Are you somebody that really would rather have a natural look or a glammed up look? It's completely up to you. Meanwhile, you gotta get your skin in fantastic shape, or at least look it, okay? So what we've done prior to that is kind of skin color correct things with taking care of our skin to begin with, but then by adding a little bit of highlight and contour, I could actually go to the grocery store and not feel terrible at this point, but let's take it up a notch. You want to? Okay, so one of my favorite concealers is the CC Cream by IT Cosmetics. And one of the reasons I really love this, it's got a little thicker of a consistency. It's 50 plus SPF. So I know that when I go out in the sun, I am covered with this instead of having to wear like a sunscreen as well as the cosmetic foundation. So I really love that. And just a tiny, tiny bit will do you. That will do your whole entire face. So this lasts a really long time. Okay, so I'm gonna only do part of my face, okay? And you can only use it where you want to. I tend to have a lot of sun damage in my forehead area. Girls, I am not gonna stop laying out in the sun if I don't have to, but I feel a little bit more protected having this on my face, and it's really smooth. It's not super heavy at all, but I tend to put my concealer and any type of contouring on prior to me putting foundation on, all right? A lot of people can do that the opposite way, but that's just tend to how I do that. So as you can see, just one dab, that did half my face, and it's a very smooth consistency. Now, don't forget, you can put it down on your chest as well, because your neck and your chest are an extension of you, and this brings the SPF down to your chest as well. So there's that. Okay, don't forget your ears even, because when we're out in the sun, sometimes those can get messed up too. All right, so that's IT foundation. It's a CC, and I tend to get the color tan because I'm just a tan kind of girl. All right, now I love Cat Cosmetics. Cat Cosmetics has a neat thing. This is a stackable. So once you get them, you can kind of make your own foundation out of this. And that's the darkest of them, and you can go up to a little bit lighter, and that's a blush that they have. This is a really neat thing. So go to catcosmetics.com and you can see all of that. That's a highlighter powder. The one thing I really love about this is that it comes with this sponge again that I told you about. You wet it down and you can just barely tap that on there, and this goes on as light or as heavy as you'd like for it to, but it's a wonderful coverage. Okay, Cat Cosmetics, I highly recommend that. Sometimes it's just easy to travel with as well, so I like that. Okay, so like I said, I go backwards to some of my favorite things. This is seriously my go-to. This is called Sheer Cover. This is a mineral makeup. It's a powder, so it will adhere, and it's kind of noisy. I end up tapping it onto the lid a little bit, and you see the powder is on the lid. I go back to this little round fat brush again, and I swirl it around, and then you put it on in a swirl motion onto the skin. Normally I would not go out with 3 different foundations on my skin. I just wanted to give you the option of using all 3 of these at different times, okay? And again, bringing it down on the neck is always something that I end up doing. Okay, so let's say we had a whole face full of just Sheer Cover. It gives you a very natural look, I think. I'm gonna put just a tiny bit more on so I can go forward with what I'm going to do next. but it's very lightweight. You'll never feel that on your skin, and it tends to last a very, very long time. And I get lots of compliments when I have this on in particular, because I think it just looks like it reflects light in a way without it being too much of a shimmery highlighting. It's kind of nice. And you can go back over that with this puff as well if you like, because it really pushes it into the skin lightly. Okay, so those are my top 3 favorite foundations, and you have to join me next week for when we go to doing a little bit more highlighting, and I'll show you a trick with the eyes, okay? See you soon on Kickin' It with Kelly.